this ain't the first time Syko Stu and done something like this backstage. Motherfucker be drinking all the goddamn time. AJ Mana told me everything.
Every fucking show for 6 years. And tell me if I'm lying, mother, because I did it with you.
Still hasn't been arrested.
He belongs in jail.
Assault.
I firmly 1000% believe he belongs in jail.
You doing okay though? Everything good? You feeling okay? Alright, I'm finna go live here in a second. But you don't look like you doing okay.
You! So why you gonna tell me that my fucked up grandson?
That's your grandson.
That's your son.
Say it, don't spread.
Okay then. That's your son, and that's what you responsibility.
He grown.
But you still.
Okay. Listen.
You still his.
Thank you.
His daddy.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna go some shit and let all the blame come on you then.
Ain't no blame gonna come on me.
Well, why the blame coming on me?
Cause them folks stupid. You wasn't there. You ain't got nothing to do with that.
Let me up and then I'm gonna say, don't blame me. Blame my dad.
No, I'm gonna tell him.
That's your logic.
I'm gonna tell him.
That's your logic.
I'm gonna tell him.
That's your logic. That's why I'm getting a disguise, cause your ass grandson is fucking stupid.
You ain't gotta do all that.
Nigga live on street.
Rampage Jackson has once again surprised the MMA world with his strange claims and his son's defense. Rampage admitted his son did wrong, but he feels Syko Stu and the promotion were also equally responsible for that. Rampage is also frustrated at the critics and believes he doesn't deserve hate for things his son has done.
Like, yeah, my kid messed up and stuff like that, and people keep twisting my words. But my main thing is I couldn't understand why people actually think that my son snuck into the ring that wasn't part of the show.
Meanwhile, before moving towards Rampage, Logan Paul and Mike Milik shared their thoughts on the Raja Jackson and Syko Stu incident. Mike Milik described the video as one of the nastiest he has ever seen and provided an update, saying Syko Stu is awake, recovering, and in stable condition, while Raja has still not been arrested. Logan Paul added that Raja Jackson belongs in jail, expressing full confidence in that opinion.
I would like to talk about the Raja Jackson situation, Rampage Jackson's son.
Yeah.
One of the nastiest videos that I've ever seen.
What's the update for the guy? Is he okay?
Syko Stu is recovering. He's awake. I think he's doing better.
He's in stable condition.
In stable condition.
That's great.
Raja still hasn't been arrested.
He belongs in jail.
Assault.
I firmly 1000% believe he belongs in jail.
Mike Milik weighed in on Raja Jackson potentially facing jail time, saying charges are almost certain. He called the incident one of the worst he's seen online and stressed that being hit with a can did not justify beating someone unconscious an hour later. Milik added that if Raja had just knocked him out and walked away, it might be different. But continuing the attack made it inexcusable. He believes that if the state does not prosecute, it would be a failure of the system.
Do you think they're going to press charges against him?
I think they should. It was one of the worst things that I've seen on the internet. You've got this guy. It looks like he was asked into this wrestling sphere. He gets hit in the head with a can. You can't just pummel someone unconscious and then not stop. This was an hour after the fact. Even if he got in the ring and knocked the dude out and the dude was unconscious and they walked away, different story. There's no way to excuse that. If the state doesn't prosecute that, that's a malfunction of the state.
On the other hand, Rampage Jackson responds to critics of his actions regarding Raja Jackson by dismissing their opinions. He says he isn't concerned about the old drama and that only people who disliked him from the start are upset. Rampage insists he hasn't done anything wrong and stands by his actions.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about that old. The only people mad at me are the people that didn't like me in the first place. Yeah. Because of the way I look. And only people with common sense know that I ain't did wrong. I ain't do a goddamn thing.
Rampage Jackson revealed that he even offered to cover Syko Stu's damages following the Raja Jackson incident.
You don't want me to say it, but I think we all know who we should.
Tell me.
Syko Stu, we should get him.
Yeah, absolutely. If you return your call, though.
Yeah.
You did reach out.
I did reach out.
You did reach out. So, yeah, more than happy to, man. So, please reach back out. We're more than happy to help you.
Yeah. For free.
However, Rampage Jackson expressed his frustration with Syko Stu, criticizing him for not taking responsibility after the incident with Raja Jackson. He stated that none of this would have happened if Syko Stu hadn't struck Raja on the back of the head with a can. In the end, Rampage also pointed out that the promotion was at fault for failing to prepare and coordinate the scripted segment properly.
And I wanted Syko Stu to tell his part that my son did not sneak up on him, and I never heard him say that. So now I'm upset. Now I'm upset. Now I'm upset with Syko Stu because he didn't come out and say, oh, whoa, yeah, what Roger did was, but he didn't sneak in the ring and do this. It was staged. That's all he had to say to get some of these racist ass out of my DMs. Hey, he's seeing all how blew up and stuff like that. He should at least said something.
Okay.
Take some accountability. Like, honestly, none of it, everybody was wrong. Roger was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this ever would have happened if Syko Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a can that they was drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the neck, asked him to sell it. If that never happened, none of this never happened. And the promoters was wrong for putting an outsider inside of a pro wrestling match. Everybody's wrong. The dumbest thing I ever seen. Nightmare.
On the other hand, Devon Dudley commented on the Raja Jackson incident, saying that the situation went horribly and terribly wrong with 20 unanswered blows and the victim unable to defend himself. He described it as cruel and sad, making it clear he did not approve of the actions. Dudley emphasized Rampage Jackson's son was in the wrong and that there could have been a far better way to handle the situation.
This is where things go wrong. 20 unanswered blows. The guy could not defend himself. It's cruel. It's sad, but you know, that was the unfortunate part. So again, I didn't like it, didn't approve. I would not have approved of this. And I've got to say that Rampage's son was definitely in the wrong. I love Rampage, he's a friend of mine, but his son was wrong on this aspect. There could have been a better way of handling this. And this was definitely the wrong way.
Devon Dudley expressed concern for Syko Stu, praying that he suffers no life-threatening injuries after being hospitalized. He felt Raja Jackson likely went too far and that the situation could have been handled better. Dudley noted that the incident happened privately among friends without an audience and emphasized that once apologies are exchanged, it should be left in the past. He added that Rampage's son might face lawsuits and overall, the situation is unfortunate for everyone involved.
So with Stu just getting out of the hospital, I pray that that young man is okay. I pray to God that there's no injuries that are life-threatening in any way, shape, or form. I definitely feel Raja probably took it a little too far. I think this could have been handled a little bit better. In my opinion, it wasn't like it was done in front of the audience out there and he was made a fool out of. It was just a couple of the boys in the back, and again, you made up in the back. You guys shook hands, you accepted his apology, and we move on. Don't have it lingering inside where you keep it up and something like this happens. Our Rampage's son can, you know, finding it in his heart to see maybe his doing in this. Lawsuits, I'm sure, are going to be made and filed. Just everything. It's a bad thing for everybody that's involved.
Devon Dudley emphasized that anyone brought into the world of professional wrestling must understand that it's all scripted and not to be taken seriously. He stressed that if someone can't handle it, they shouldn't participate, as incidents like this should never happen in any federation. He emphasized the importance of earning a living, protecting one another, and moving forward safely. Dudley called the situation a tragedy and expressed sympathy for both individuals affected.
So my final thoughts on this is that when you bring somebody else into our world, you have to make it clear, perfectly clear, that this is a work. Don't take it seriously. And if you can't handle it, then let's not do it. Let's move on, because something like this not ever happen in the world of pro wrestling, whether it's WWE, TNA, AEW, or the independent scene. Nothing like this will take place. We should be able to go out there, make money, protect each other, and then move on from there. But this was definitely a tragedy, and I'm so sorry to see that both of these people are going to be affected by this in the end.
However, Mike Perry defended Raja Jackson regarding the Syko Stu incident, pointing out that since Raja signed papers to participate in the ring, the situation is complicated. He explained that while pro wrestling is staged, the pain, brutality, and potential for serious injury remain very real. Perry noted that Raja wasn't a professional wrestler but was brought in to make the performance look intense and believable, and in that sense, he delivered. He added that the show continued with Raja choking Stu unconscious and forcing a tap, further blurring the line between performance and actual harm.
And when he gets in the ring and he f***s him up, you can't about it. He him up because he signed a contract to do that.
The whole Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson, Syko Stu situation. What do you think?
Yeah, I've been sending my thoughts to Rampage, about that. And from a professional standpoint, someone who kind of understands a little bit about the WWE type pro wrestling, while it may be a fake thing sometimes, a lot of the pain and brutality and horrific injuries go with that sport hand in hand. So bringing Raja in, who is not a professional wrestler, having him sign papers saying he can go into the ring and do this act, and to make it look violent and as real as possible, and he definitely did that. They continue to play along, tap the guy out while he is unconscious, continued the show.
Mike Perry further shared his point of view, noting that even Rampage admitted that any consequences Raja faces should ultimately help him grow stronger. He acknowledged that many might criticize his stance, but emphasized that pro wrestling has always included extreme and sometimes dangerous elements, from razor blades to risky stunts, and in his opinion, Raja's actions fit into that same chaotic world, even if the situation went too far.
In my opinion, and Rampage has said it too. He's like, whatever discipline needs to be done for his son, hope he comes out better on the other side of it, whatever that might be. Yeah, people are gonna crucify me for saying this, but it's like, that's pro wrestling, dude. Like, those guys do some horrific stuff to each other. Razor blades cutting each other, all type of crazy things.
Mike Perry admitted that the additional strikes appeared over the top, shifting the situation from a possible misunderstanding into a criminal matter, and said Raja deserved accountability. He stressed, however, that Raja mainly needs direction and guidance. Perry also questioned why Raja didn't respond right after the beer incident, instead waiting for a wrestling event, which made it seem more like a stage stunt for online attention than an act of self-defense.
But Mike, what do you think about the follow-up shots specifically? Because look, I
thought they were spastic. I thought that a lot of it was for entertainment, but a lot of it was for Raja trying to prove a point.
Get his licks, bro. Like,
get his
I saw that he hit him so many times after. I'm like, now this has gone from a misunderstanding or possibly outlashing to this is a crime of some sort.
He should have a punishment.
I don't really know.
I think he needs guidance.
It's a horrible situation,
but
man.
Stu's awake. What's his thoughts on that? Why didn't Raja do anything when the first beer thing happened? That was it was out of the show. That was assault. He should have just done it to him then, and then it would have been self-defense. But in a professional ring, at a professional show, a lower class professional show, he's a professional streamer, and they want views, they want clickbait, and he accomplished the mission of having the most viral thing to be talked about. We're still talking about it. Now, that doesn't excuse it.
Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen shared that he's not surprised Raja Jackson hasn't been arrested yet. He explained that authorities cannot take action until Syko Stu confirms the attack was not part of the scripted performance. Sonnen notes that every wrestler that night agreed to deliver strikes, slams, and other moves as part of the show. The difference, he adds, is that Raja appeared to stop following the script and instead tried to genuinely hurt his opponent, crossing the line from entertainment into potential criminal behavior.
Are you surprised nothing has happened to him? Are you surprised there haven't been any arrests, any charges, anything like that?
No. They can't and they won't make an arrest until Syko Stu says that wasn't planned. Everybody on the card that night said before the match they're going to beat the hell out of their opponent. Everybody on the card that night, winners and losers, hit their opponent. Everyone on the card that night picked their opponent up, threw him to the ground. The difference was they were performing. What was in their heart was different. It appeared that Raja stopped performing and started to try to injure a man. And that is the difference between the show and a crime. But when I say that's what it appears, only Stu gets to stay. The rest of us are marks. Only Syko Stu gets to say that, and he has up to 12 months.
Chael Sonnen added that he suspects Syko Stu may delay matters, but emphasizes that police cannot make an arrest based only on video. He explains that the footage is from a pro wrestling match where the audience is meant to be entertained and deceived, not to judge what's real. Sonnen adds that the only perspective that truly matters is Stu's, and so far, he has remained silent.
I have a feeling he might drag this on. but they're not going to go just arrest him because they have a video of a pro wrestling match, and the audience doesn't get to decide what's real and what's not. The audience job is to be entertained and constantly fooled. So they don't actually get to say how bad this was. Only one person does, and that's Stu, and so far, he's remained silent.
Rampage Jackson also admits that he isn't shocked that Roger Jackson hasn't been arrested yet, noting that law enforcement is probably carrying out a thorough investigation. He explains that while incidents like this have occurred before in pro wrestling, this one gained more attention because it was live streamed. Rampage adds that the rapid sharing of clips on social media makes it go viral and amplifies the situation far beyond normal rage.
Surprised Raja hasn't been arrested?
No, honestly, I'm not. I'm not surprised that Roger hasn't been arrested. Like, I feel like the police are doing like a deep investigation, because this is not the first time that something like this has happened in pro wrestling. It's not. It is just a high-profile case. I feel like because it was live streamed on a different. It went different than. So let me explain something to you with live streaming. Live streaming, you have people watching your streams just to clip your stuff, to post it on their social medias to go viral, right? So this went more viral than if somebody regular was just filming that there with their phone. Like, it's already a community tapped in watching these live streams, so stuff can go viral. And people never seen it like that.
Rampage Jackson says Roger jumped into the ring and caught a wrestler off guard. Well, part of it was intended as performance. He admits Roger went further than what normally happens in smaller wrestling events. He emphasizes that he isn't excusing actions and that anyone who attacks like that should face consequences. At the same time, he rejects labeling Roger as an animal, noting that anyone can lose control when provoked.
Because it looked like Roger snuck into a wrestling ring and came up behind a pro wrestler and beat the f*** out of him. When that part was staged, the part that didn't look staged, that didn't seem staged, that Roger took it too far. But that happens in pro wrestling at the lower levels and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You guys gotta like do your research. Like, it was certain pro wrestlers that did that. They hurt people on purpose. They just did that. You know, and there's hardcore pro wrestling. It's different shit. But Roger know nothing like that. I'm not taking it up for my son. Any man that beats somebody like that in the ring, they should face some consequences. But I don't take kindly to people calling my son like a caged animal and say he don't got no undeveloped frontal lobe and stuff like that. I don't take that kindly, because, you know, anybody in a race can explode when they're pushed. Anybody.
However, referee Big John McCarty places full responsibility on Roger Jackson. He expresses sympathy for Quentin Rampage Jackson as a father, but emphasizes that no parent can control every action. McCarty notes that young men sometimes make reckless decisions that change their lives, and Roger's actions were one of those critical mistakes.
Look, at this all comes back to one person. Let's put the blame where it belongs, and it belongs on Roger Jackson. And as much as I love Quentin and I hate for him to have to go through this as a father, you cannot be there at all times. And you know, your son is young. I have, you know, my sons are all grown up, but there's times when, you know, they're going to go do something. You're saying, hey, don't do something stupid that's going to alter your life. Okay? Be smart. And I used to say that line all the time, because young men do stupid things. And those stupid things can alter your life forever. And unfortunately, Raja went and did a stupid thing.
John McCarty stated that Roger Jackson's repeated strikes on an unconscious opponent crossed into attempted murder territory. He clarified that this went well beyond typical battery or assault, noting prosecutors could pursue attempted murder charges until a plea deal reduces it to aggravated assault. McCarty admitted and emphasized that despite the expected contact in pro wrestling, no performer consents to being attacked while unconscious.
When he jumped on an unconscious person and then started throwing punches, 22 unanswered blows, okay? You're talking about attempted murder. You're not talking about battery. You're not talking about assault. You're not talking about aggravated assault. He'll be lucky. They're going to put, trust me, they're going to put that thing up at attempted murder. And he'll be lucky if he pleads out that they'll bring it down to something like aggravated assault, because that's where it's headed. You know, and I hate to say that, but you know, I've seen it in the past, and Raja stepped so far into it with what he did, and it was so, you know, this is one person attacking another person. Yeah, it was in a pro wrestling ring, and yeah, Syko Stu knew that he was going to come in, and yeah, he knew he was going to get slammed. He didn't know someone was going to waylay him for 22 shots while he was unconscious.
Matt Brown also weighed in on the incident, expressing that although he respects and admires Rampage Jackson, his son must be held accountable. He emphasized that the main concern is the victim's recovery, particularly since the man is a veteran who may already struggle with PTSD. Brown added that while people should send positive thoughts for healing, justice must still be upheld, and Raja Jackson should face appropriate consequences.
Hopefully the guy's all right, man. That's about all you can say at the end of the day, right? Hopefully the guy just heals up, and you know, with some PTSD or being a veteran and everything, man, you know, just hope that the guy turns out okay, man. Send him some positive energy and hope for the best. That's about the most you can say about it. Other than that, you know, again, loving Rampage, but you know, hopefully justice is done and his son gets what he deserves.
So that wraps up today's video, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.